I shall begin with this. Lester, there's nothing I can't say to you in front of the friends that I won't say to the friends in front of you, or I can't say to the friends saying to you that you can't see what I'm saying to the friends. You know what I'm saying. Friends, hello. Last week, Lester fell asleep at the wheel, and we almost went off a cliff. He dropped the ball, as did I. More him than me. Put the blame on Lester. Heh! But we push forward. But before we push forward, apologies must be given. Professionalism was lacking last week as, let me tell you, if you haven't already figured it out, we referenced the episode as the wrong number. Last week was, in fact, Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 33, and I said 34. 1 to 3 times during the episode. I referenced the episode as episode 34, and I apologize. But Lester's back behind the wheel. I have forgiven him, as you should as well. No need to forgive me, I am perfect. He is awake, and I am awake. And it's time to bring you Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 34.
What the hell is this?
I speak jive.
Will you stop?
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
You don't like it? We don't care.
What a dumb thing to do. I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
The recognized symbol of excellence in
dramatic comedy. Friends, welcome in, and let's get to the hat as soon as possible because my hair is abysmal. This week, it's really, really small, but nevertheless, JB Peddler Limited, okay, no address, no phone number, JB Peddler Limited. As you can see, I have it on the very last notch, and it will probably still not fit my head. This is, I swear to God, a youth hat, but how's she looking? Is that a beauty? Let us begin. Lester, we're forgiven. They've forgiven us, and we're pushing forward. We are beginning the episode. That, of course, correctly stated. Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 34. Colin, if you will please, the wall particulars, I thank you. Good coffee is always free. Flip it down. John Riddell's the living legend. Kurt Cobain, the permanent poster. The pen is taped. Amcan Connection, single greatest tag team walking the earth today, along with my tag team partner over at the King of YouTube, Lester Said So, amongst others. Finally, the honorary Academy Award for all-around greatness from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Hello and welcome. The wall particulars, I'm not gonna lie, we filmed that a couple of times because I couldn't point to Good Coffee is Always Free. That is a fact, and you may see it in the bloopers. Newest edition, my favorite edition, we're gonna get to it. It's the quote of the week, guys, from me. And it comes from episode 5 of Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk. Let's go to it now. I cannot go into any more details. Not that I've given any details yet, but I'm not going into any more on top of the ones I haven't gotten into already. No more. Okay, guys? We'll visit that later, but we gotta hang it up now. Let's hear the click. Booyah! And we are seated once more. Welcome in, guys, gals, everybody, families, church groups, bowling teams, curling teams, badminton aficionados, if I may. It's already a quarter of the way done. As I told you, we tried to film the wall particulars, and I just could not point to Good Coffee is Always Free. We have 2 here. We're going to open one now. Silence. You know it. Lester, there's rules. Okie dokie. What's up, guys? It is a Wednesday afternoon. We're starting the filming early, so we don't have to do everything Saturday night after I babysit the you-know-whos. Okay, we're gonna leave it there, leave some in the can. And may I? You may. Ceremonial first sip. We are off and running, friends. It's gonna be a good show. I can feel it. I can feel it. Not yet. The Driving with Colin update. You'll be pleased to know that I have invested some cold hard cash in a dash cam. That is correct. Colin from Canada is jumping into the 2000s and getting a dash cam for his Toyota Corolla. So he's gonna figure out that, and we're gonna get 1080p high definition Driving with Colin clips where you can hear me talking. Guys, this is gonna get good, okay? Because what I truly wanted was the morons of Mississauga to be showcased on the show. Lester, what show is that? Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk. I don't just want me trying to figure out how to use my cell phone camera with a car phone holder and it falling every time I want to film anything. We may be revisiting the mighty Tim Hortons because I'm not letting them off the hook. The video footage did not do justice to what I feel is an incompetent toaster owned by the corporation known as Tim Hortons. I'm not letting them slide. Possibly, quite possibly, we will revisit that. And I will give photos of the toast. Another thing, I'm always driving around and thinking about ideas for the show and idiotic things that I can do. And there is a McDonald's right up the street from my work. Anytime I'm coming here to babysit the Cretans or to clean up outside the building or to film the magic that you are currently watching that Lester and I create, I get a coffee and a muffin and I come on down. In that McDonald's plaza is also a walk-in clinic and a pharmacy. And the pharmacist for the pharmacy parks behind the pharmacy in a black Mercedes. Great story, Colin, you have me hooked. No, I don't. Pushing forward, getting to the point, where is it, Colin? Right here. I think something is connecting with my brain and my heart and my funny bone. You can feel it.
I can feel the power. Yes. Yes.
So he drives a Mercedes and he parks in the back of the plaza, but he will not. And I repeat, Lester, say it with me. He will not park inside the lines of the parking space. He just drives in however the hell he wants. And I love it, okay? So I'm going to start taking photos every time I go to that McDonald's and his car is there. And perhaps, should we focus on it weekly? Where I give you, okay, I was there 3 times this week, here's 3 photos of the magnificent parking? Or do I slowly collect them like jewels and I caress them and pet them gently and then unleash them upon you, 25 to 50 at once, and you see how he parks because he's the pharmacist and he can park however the hell he wants. Guys, I don't know. We're gonna get to that in upcoming episodes, but right now, it's time to start this one. And which one is that? 34.
Big John Studd, an awesome individual, a giant, a truly giant in his own right.
Friends, would you like to take a journey down to the basement of the Riddell estate and get 5 DVDs from the pile and 5 VHS from the pile, and then I will wear a JB Peddler limited hat and show them to you? Okay, let's do it. Power Karate. Hunks with hats. Tai Chi for arthritis. Stretching to the classics. From Paragon Video Productions, Demolition. Destroy the mind, control the man. An intricate web of betrayal constructed by superpower parasites. An ex-international courier is urgently called back into service for one last simple job. Betrayed by his superiors and his lover, he descends further and further into the abyss of distrust. And you know I love the photos on the back. This could quite possibly be the best photo on the back of a VHS. And can we, yeah, I think we're getting it. Is that a guy in makeup wearing women's clothing being choked by one man and threatened with a Bic lighter by the other? Oh, it is. Forever evil. It is evil beyond time and imagination, forever watching, waiting, killing. Warning, not for the squeamish, explicit violence and gore. Don't see it alone. 107 minutes, 1987. Okay. Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies go to college. Yes, they did. They went to college. Okay, this is 94 minutes from 1990. You know Ghoulies. Also, there's, what was the other one? Critters, you know. When the Gremlins came out, you had to make your own homage in a horror genre. You know what I'm saying. Guys, you know. We're getting into the good ones here. Not that they're not all good, Colin. Bruce Lee and Fred Williamson, Dragon and the Cobra, otherwise known as Fist of Fear, Touch of Death. Okay, guys? Electricity is in the air as the tension rises in the Madison Square Garden. The reason to find a successor to the title of World Karate Champion. Martial arts greats from all over the world, such as Ron Van Cleef and Fred Williamson, have arrived in New York for this violent, bloodletting, no-holds-barred competition, setting up the ultimate conflict, Dragon and the Cobra. Adolf Caesar recounts the events leading to the showdown with interviews of many famous martial arts greats. Also shown as never-before-seen rare footage of Bruce Lee, along with opinions as to the mysterious cause of his death. So hold on to your seats, for you are about to witness the greatest martial arts challenge ever seen. Let the competition begin. Okay, guys, basically, some video company got the rights to some unseen Bruce Lee footage, and they said, how the hell can we make this into a movie? So they did a pseudo-documentary, not really, with a bunch of martial arts people to pretend that they were coming to Madison Square Gardens for a competition, and at the same time asking them about Bruce Lee. I think I nailed it. You like to finish strong with the VHS and the DVDs. So let's finish strong in the VHS category with presidential limousines. Okay? A quintessential collection of America's most famous White House limousines, transporting America's presidents for more than half a century. These famous limousines served Presidents Franklin Roosevelt, Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, and Bill Clinton. Documentary narrated, they want you to know that, exclusive historical color footage, candid comments by former presidents, where are these cars now? Featuring 11 presidential vehicles. We wish to acknowledge the following institutions for their assistance: the White House, the U.S. Navy, U.S. Secret Service, National Park Service, Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford Museum, General Motors, and selected presidential libraries. How long do you want this to go for? 45 minutes. Guys, you'll want the footage to never end. Moving forward, or pushing forward, the DVDs, it's Bill Murray's first starring role, filmed in Ontario, it's Meatballs. Does anything have to be said? 3 sequels after, one of which starred Corey Feldman. Perhaps we'll see that at a future, let's get the deep, you know what I'm saying. Black Dog. Can we put together Randy Travis, Patrick Swayze, Meatloaf, and put them in a big rig? Yes, we can. And we'll name it after a Led Zeppelin song. Okay. Dolph Lundgren, Missionary Man. Is that? No, it's not. No, it's... Okay, I thought it was Katie Holmes for a second. It's not. Why would Katie Holmes be in a Dolph Lundgren film at the height of her career? Because this came out in 2008. Dolph Lundgren, Missionary Man. Fast Food. Clark Brandon, Tracy Lords, and Jim Varney. Fun fact about Tracy Lords. She runs away from home at age 16, goes to Los Angeles, gets into the adult movie industry. It comes out that she's underage. All of the movies that she made are confiscated because they are legal. She turns 18, creates her own adult video company, makes one more adult movie, and makes a lot of money on that one video. Rumor has it, her and her manager put out that she was underage, so kind of smart, guys, in a weird way. Finally, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman in Busted. Faster than a speeding airplane, more powerful than a naked gun. We're gonna read this one. Corey Feldman directs, that's a good way to start it. Corey Feldman directs Corey Haim in this screwball comedy. The summer resort of Amity houses the wildest officers on the eastern seaboard, especially since they're hookers. The town's police station, now a bordello, has taken crime off the street and into their jail. But when the mayor hires Captain Mary May to man the station, she discovers a whole new meaning to the term Vice Squad. Cameo appearances include Elliot Gould and Ron Jeremy. Guys, that was 5 and 5 from the pile in the basement of the estate. Hope you enjoyed.
But Brutus definitely in control of this matchup for the first time since the onset.
There are people who appear on this program that we have grown to love. You at home watching have felt a connection with them. Perhaps the people that appear on this show have become part of your family, as they have mine. And it's not just the video footage of town hall meetings that bring them closer to us. It's facts about them. Again, peeks behind the curtain, where I turn to Lester and he informs me that if his wife Cheryl had only one song to listen to for the rest of her life, she would choose Taco, Putting on the Ritz.
Putting on the Ritz.
You have no idea who knows me. I'm not the rancher. I got marbles here. I have 2 boobs, not 6. Do you know you have scratchy toilet paper? But a United States Marine, 1 United States Marine, and I can't hear anymore, thanks to you people. All right, but 1 United States Marine can babysit 252 flyboys. And the National Guard, only person in this whole effing state that can call in a National Guard is that bald-headed governor you got.
Friends, the thrift store pickups are upon us. They include some library pickups. I think you know what that means. Only went to 2 thrift stores this week, so it's pretty paltry. But it begins now. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit? John Dote Hit. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit. John DeHurt. Okay, turning to the left, we'll start with the library items, and I think you know what that means. We ran into some video games at $1 each. Xbox One games, Scarlet Nexus, Crayola Scoot, Adventure Time Finn and Jake Investigations, One Piece Odyssey, Redfall, Gigantosaurus Dino Sports, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Miasma Chronicles, if I'm pronouncing that correct, Recore, South Park The Stick of Truth, Moving Out, Remnant 2, Ugly Dolls, An Imperfect Adventure, The Blob 2, Scribble Knots Mega Pack, The Escapist 2, and, although I don't own one yet, PS5 games, Severed Steel, Elix 2, or Elix 2, Disciples Liberation, Star Trek Resurgence, and Black Sad Under the Skin. Okay, those were $1 each. Then we got to the thrift store. CDs first. The Allman Brothers Band, Brothers and Sisters. Aerosmith Pump. Keith Murray, It's a Beautiful Thing. Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? The Later Lounge, this is kind of, I don't know how you would describe it. It's a 70s disco lounge music compilation. Funky type stuff. And then, I'm gonna mispronounce this, Hajab 99 Remixes. H-A-U-J-O-B-B. Hajab. We'll get there eventually. Some books, Conan books. Conan the Wanderer. Conan the Liberator. Conan the Adventurer. Conan the Freebooter. The old sci-fi space, 1999. Also, a really old sci-fi, The Mind Monsters, and then on the other side, The Unteleported Man. So you get 2 books for one. What year is this? We're gonna get a year on this one, guys. I'll go 61. Let's see here. 64. Now, finally, 1 VHS, and let's all read it together. Solarc Orthotics, new support for cuboid, navicular arch, midfoot, and metatarsal arches, and posture straightening exercises, soothing exercises for rounded shoulders, shifting hips and tummies, crunchy knees, and flattening feet. Feel good again. Okay? Guys, nothing's going right. It's day 2 of filming. This has been thrift store pickups. Maybe if I have some more of this, it'll help. Affect me more.
Of course, that $15,000 always at stake. If you can slam Big John Studd, Bobby the Brain saying he's always got the money and he's ready.
Friends, in today's advanced world, with technology taking over as far as the eye can see, perhaps the older generation loses touch with the younger generation. That's how it's been for decades upon decades, and will continue to be. Much of the lingo of the youth perhaps goes over my head and yours. You look at the TikToks, maybe you don't, I don't. You look at the Instagrams, maybe you do, I don't. And you hear the youth talking as if they came from an alien planet. If we're going to move forward hand in hand with technology and the youth of the lingo, we must learn the terms, the words, the expressions. We must know what they mean to protect ourselves. Guys, it's time for hard-hitting news and a great example of what the youth of today are saying.
Done something that is very good.
He was murdered,
but now he's dead.
Reach out to the man who died.
Do the math.
Your mama, she's for free and everybody knows it.
With the kids, what are you helping them with?
Do you know I have been?
Real bill.
Do you know do you know we've got people? Do you know all of them? Do you know I'd say by and do you know they get lots of things out of it? Do you know I believe, do you know they came last night?
Friends, John Riddell has and always will be the man that buys the groceries that come into the Riddell estate. Will I mention that when we moved estates in 2001, we found 34 tins of Campbell's tomato soup in the basement? I will not. I join John in these grocery store excursions, and I help not stockpile tins of tuna or Campbell's tomato soup. We're a good team. And when it comes to the upper echelon of products, there's only certain things my father will settle for, and he will pay extra. This is one of them.
How much is in butter? How much is in butter? How much is in butter?
Friends, Colin from Canada in the grocery. You're talking over my video, Dad.
Hello, how are you? How you doing, laddie?
Okay. Let me continue here. We are in the No Frills grocery store here in Canada, and when it comes to premium products, there are certain products that there is no substitute for John. And when you're talking about the increased price of Jif peanut butter, now it's $7, Johnny will not get the Kraft peanut butter at $5. He needs his Jif. Is that correct, Dad?
Yeah.
Friends, my lackadaisical approach to let's go through my camera roll is not benefiting you. I've had to go in the archives. I've had to go to the hard drive to look at some old photos, and perhaps this camera roll, I may drop the ball because there's one photo I'm not sure if we've done already in past episodes. Guys, we're on episode 34 and we've done 5 pictures each episode. So we may have seen one of these, but I hope not. They're still funny. They're still from the bottom of the barrel. And this intro sucks. Lester, I can judge myself, okay? Let's go through my camera roll. Dry cleaning movies, mushrooms on toast. Just a couple of horses' asses. Electric pressure cooker, urinating. Passion fruit chest cake, Charles Barkley. Friends don't really care how the hat looks because I'm ready to throw the camera against the wall because this episode is falling into... Lester, I don't care how the hat looks. I need, some words of encouragement because the plane's going down. The plane being Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 34. We need to raise it up.
You raise me up.
I need words of motivation to get me over the finish line. It's Saturday, time constraints are upon us, and we got to get this done. The hat is going all over the place. Let's get going here. Bit of a backstory before I throw up photo number 1. We run a poker place for morons. We used to be in the front of the building, and it was a video store as well. At one point, we played cash. A cash game is basically you lose your chips, you lose that money. A tournament, the chips are irrelevant, you just need all of them at the end of the tournament to be the victorious winner. You get what I'm saying? We played $1, $2, small blind, big blind. For those who don't know poker, this is going over your head, but that's very small stakes. And at one point, a group of Asian early 20-year-olds were coming to the establishment in a Lamborghini. A Lamborghini. How much is a Lamborghini? And they were playing for $100 buy-ins. That's like me going somewhere to play poker in my Corolla and the blinds are 1 cent, 2 cent. Anywho, getting to my point. Oh, Lester, is it your motivation? Is it your words? Or is it the magic elixir that I've been double fisting here? I think we've got control of the aircraft, and we are now moving up. Photo number 1, this is the footwear that these two guys were wearing when they drove their Lamborghini over here. Can we zoom in on both pairs, please, and thank you? Lester, I'll wait. There's one pair, and there's the second pair. This is real, okay? Oh, I could tell you stories, and I probably will. Photo number 2, the Halloween costume got a bit of a remix one year when not only was I a nun, but I was a pregnant nun. Okay. Photo number 3, I don't buy everything I see in the thrift store. I don't need this, but I had to take a photo. Excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. Am I? Elton John's Flower Fantasies. Elton John's Flower Fantasies. A coffee table book for anyone that you may know. Perfect gift. Photo number 4, we're gonna have to turn to the right because there are some details and some particulars. This is the one I was afraid we've already used before, but we're gonna push forward. When we were closing down the video store, we were selling slat wall. For those that don't know slat wall, it's basically a drywall or a wall thing with slits in it that you can hang shelving. You see it in like Target and Kmart, and you know what I'm saying. So we went to the mighty Kijiji to sell our piles and piles of Slatwell. Let's go to this little conversation I had with, I won't say his name, sent at 1:08 p.m. by me. Yes, we are open at 6 p.m. His response at 5:15, hi, we are outside our shop. You guys are closed? Then I replied, the last message I sent was, we are open at 6 p.m. He replied, I am outside your shop. We don't get to know where to go. I replied, at 6 p.m. I will be opening more than just movies. Love. Now, this one I know we haven't done yet, and things make me mad, as we've learned, folks. But this really, there is a restaurant, and again, I have to turn to the right for the particulars, gentlemen, ladies, friends. This is from Chuck's Roadhouse. This is a bar, sports bar type, burgers and steaks, you know what I'm saying? This is a page in their menu, and this is real, okay? The honest to goodness fee. Let's be honest, you come to Chuck's for the great food at incredible prices. The value we offer our guests is second to none. We can honestly say that, and if we are being honest, then we need to tell you that for us to continue offering great deals, then something has to give. And we definitely don't want that to be our quality. Who else serves AAA steaks at prices like ours? Certainly not the competition, but you know that already. And that's why you're here. In order for us to continue providing fresh, fabulous food at incredible prices, we need to add 3% to all prices. Don't panic, it's really not a lot. Example, using Chuck's Burger and Fries at $6, 6 times 3% equals $6.18. No comparison to the $10 to $15 burger you get from the other guys. We are truly hoping you understand why we have put this in place. Our goal is to provide you with value, honesty, and the greater good you have enjoyed and deserve. Hey, the prices are great, but we gotta add this 3% thing. Just change the prices in your menu and forget this 3% thing. Are you, almost said the R word, but we're not allowed to say that word anymore. This has been Let's Go Through My Camera Roll. I hope I have not repeated any photos. But I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments, and that's okay because I want to know. I need to make a log of everything I've covered. All the movies, all the, you know what I'm saying?
That left leg is hooked underneath the turnbuckle. There's no way that he can get himself out of there.
Lester, friends, when we show Lester's brother-in-law, Ray, perhaps you're laughing. Perhaps those in city council are snickering behind closed doors. Perhaps those in the gallery behind Ray are laughing. But with what Ray has to say this week, I don't think anyone will be laughing any longer.
Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Raymond Lyman. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I said that I had a letter from the Federal Attorney General's office and the ACLU, and you guys laughed at me? And now I see in today's paper, the ACLU was in the paper about Judy Catelli and Emil Minor. Oh, well, it's a surprise that Mr. Minor, Miss Catelli's not here. Who's the liar now?
Friends, we are entering the water. Have your swimsuit on, or perhaps you want to go skinny dipping into the Deep Cut Deep Dive, which this week brings one of my top 5 TV shows of all time, perhaps number 1. There's always a fight at the top. It's time for the Deep Cut Deep Dive, guys. Lester didn't know what clips to take from the Deep Cut Deep Dive, so instead Colin from Canada is singing over this bumper. I assure you, this is real. Friends, welcome to this. This, of course, being the Deep Cut Deep Dive. I just said that 10 seconds ago. What are we delving into now as I take my notes here just to get ready for the full presentation? I am holding the pen, but we're not playing with it. Guys, it's the Wonder Years, okay? If you don't know, you need to know. But if you do know, let's play along and enjoy my babble here. From 88 to 1993, 6 seasons, 115 episodes, Dan Lauria, Fred Savage, Jason Hervey, Ali Mills, Olivia Dabo, Josh Saviano, Danica McKellar, and then some others. It's the Wonder Years, the coming of age in the 1960s of young phenom Fred Savage as Kevin Arnold, ages 12 to 17, and his crush Winnie Cooper, okay? What do you say? What do you say? The music, second to none. No show has better music. The Father, I said this on the Rushmore show, top 5 retro TV dads. If you forgot, if you haven't seen it, I suggest you go there now. Dan Lauria, number 1 father in the history of television. I'm sorry. Just so well acted, in my opinion. And you guys are nodding and you guys are giving the thumbs up. I know you are. Was a father ever portrayed more accurately than Dan Lauria as Jack Arnold? I'm waiting. Okay? What else can you say? I mean, I have trouble watching it now because it just affects me in that way. I don't know what that means. Yeah. I don't think it's streaming anywhere, but original music, yep, I can hook you up. If you haven't seen The Wonder Years, this is one, along with 21 Jump Street, that you really have to take a gander at. Does it get enough love? I think it does. It's always in high regard when it comes to TV shows of the late 80s, early 90s. One-liners. When Kevin starts high school, Carpazon. That's Carpathian, sir? What did you say? Stuart Carpazon, Harold Grutner. I'm just shouting out his classmates that you need to know about. Let me just tell you this one story, and it'll be a spoiler, but god damn it, it's amazing. Kevin, no, should I say, okay, I won't give the whole backstory because it might ruin the flow of the show as I hand gesture it away. Kevin received a what do they call them again? ID bracelet. Lester, I didn't need you. I got to it. He got an ID bracelet as a gift from Winnie, and he misplaced that ID bracelet, and he had to get another one. And his name is Kevin Arnold. And he went to the jeweler at the local mall, and he found the one that Kevin got him, and he said, okay, I need it engraved, and he wrote down the name, and then he's got a big date with Winnie, but he's got the ID bracelet back, so it's no problem. And he takes it out of the box, and it says, Kevin a Mold. And Wayne walks in and grabs it and reads it just perfectly. Kevin a Mold? And then just starts cracking up, and I'm thinking about it right now. Hilarious. And if you ask me nicely,
Kevin a mold? Yeah.
Am I right? Guys, it's The Wonder Years. Oh, again, created by Neil Marlins and Carol Black, who also had their hands in Growing Pains. And we all love Growing Pains, okay? All right? Funny enough, my two favorite sitcom episodes, or one of them, I mean, Wonder Years, it would be hard to pin down one. The first day of high school with Stuart Carpathian is just amazing. But the Growing Pains episode, Our Town, where Mike is the lead in the school play, is just magnifique, okay? Just amazing. Okay, get it together, Colin. It's The Wonder Years. If you don't have it, if you've never seen it, if you can't find it, I'll hook you up. It's this week's Deep Cut Deep Dive, and I think I covered everything.
Two big behemoths, King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd, along with their manager. Let's go.
Friends, the clip of the week is upon us, but first, I have to let Lester know about the introduction to this very clip. We're back to Family Feud, and it's Ray Combs, who I believe was a seriously underrated host. He was a really funny guy, and, you know. Any hoots. I often wonder, because when I hear these questions, the first thing that comes to my mind is usually a pretty solid answer. You know, and then you watch some of these answers and you think, that's the first thing that came to your head? So let's roll the clip, Lester, and let's watch along as this is the first thing that came to this woman's head. Lester, roll it!
When things aren't going my way, I'm thinking pasta.
2,500.
Here's the VHS collection.
Your Construction Safety Association.
Name a job that helicopters are used for.
Tuna fishing.
Friends, with construction being done outside and hopefully not interfering with the audio of this masterpiece. Okay, they've stopped cutting. It's the introduction to Gorilla Monsoon Quote of the Week, and as you know, it has nothing to do with Gorilla Monsoon in the intro and more about my survivor pool with the team named Gorilla Monsoon's Pants. We were victorious for the third week in a row, taking the Los Angeles Chargers last week over the Denver Broncos. This week, the Gorilla Monsoon Pant team will be selecting the San Francisco 49ers at home over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Guys, it's time for Gorilla Monsoon's Quote of the Week.
Did you see that?
Couldn't see it from our vantage point.
Will you stop? All kinds of pandemonium broken loose here.
Excedrin headache number 35.
And now the action is hot and heavy right out here on the floor.
Friends, the voting is still live. But it's close. How close is it? You're gonna have to wait and see, because this is only the introduction. Was that a bit of a tease? I noticed when I met my grandfather on my dad's side, who lived in Scotland, he would do this. And that's exactly what my dad does sometimes. Fun fact, guys, tell the children. It's time for this week's show and tell. Delta Force Pizza. Delta Force Pizza. Friends, I do not have to say it. 8 votes. 5 votes to 3. For your winner. Mustache hair on the side of my lip. And still, Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk Show and Tell Weekly Poll Champions, Rowdy, Roddy, Piper, and Mr. T. Unless that changes by Sunday, victorious over the very first WWF video game, Micro League Wrestling. Friends, I was down in the collections of collections trying to find a certain item, but I could not find it through the mess that is in the 2/3 rooms in the lower level of the Riddell estate, so I had to go with this item. Nevertheless, still a solid item, and this is your challenger to the crown, currently held by, I believe now, 10-time champions, Mr. T and Rowdy Roddy Piper. The challenger, if you may, the Mick Foley signed 8x10, still not in a frame, merely in a dollar store envelope. Okay? As we know, I met the hardcore legend in Toronto when he was doing a comedy show. I was also a huge part of the Vice episode on Mick Foley. We'll show the clip now.
Putting on a show, having that stimulus.
Okay, we're back. This is it's a memento, but it's also a lovely collector piece. It could have fallen into either category, but now that we know that Men's Toes is currently on the back burner, it's going to fall into the show and tell portion of the show. I only have a few autographs from a few people, but this is one that's pretty damn cool. Okay, and if this guy didn't give his all in the ring, other than Sabu, and others, but I mean, who really went over the top to entertain you, it's Mick Foley, you guys. I'm gonna stop holding this because my hands are sweating and we don't want to get that on the piece. But that is this week's show and tell item. I don't know if I can, is there anything else I could mention about? He was very cool. I was last in line. Again, I get nervous when I meet famous people because I think, they're not, let's make it quick because, they, Fun fact, it was the night that Pete Rose died. So I told Mick Foley that Pete Rose died. Yeah, buddy. What is that? I'm getting a vibe. Episode title. I told Mick Foley Pete Rose died. It takes a lot to make Colin from Canada laugh from his own mouth, but that was pretty funny, Colin. Getting back to the matter at hand, it's voting time, folks. It looks like it will be T and Piper taking on the hardcore legend Mick Foley in a triple threat match. And if it were a real match, I would have money on Foley, but you guys seem to love the Piper and T figure. Can Mick Foley strap on the belt? We're gonna have to see. And you guys are gonna have to vote. Blow my mind and get to double-digit votes, guys. Okay? Vote now. No slouching.
And Adrian with that powerful upper body kicks out of there.
Friends, we talked about it earlier. The fact that I could not point to the, and apparently still, there it is. I couldn't point to the good coffee is always free. And there is a lovely chunk of video footage where I try to get this finger to point to that sign. Guys, you know what time it is. You know what's occurring right now. It's the blunders, it's the faults, it's the guffaws, it's the the goddamn bloopers. What am I doing? Gotta stop saying What can I tell you? Try again, son. What am I, deep in thought up in here? That's here nor there. You are actually laughing. One of these magical power beep. It's not my job, but I'll do it. Friends, I'm talking about Chad. Not Chad the person, the country. Speak to those who cannot speak for themselves. Safety is needed for those who not only speak English, but other languages. Broadening our horizons. The show is ever far-reaching to lands I did not know of. Creator of this, that if the learning wow. There are certain accoutrements. Would you? Could you? Should you? That didn't make any sense. They don't know how to toast anything. Asleep at the wheel? The leader. Fun fact about Tracy Lords, okay? Lester, anything... We already know that. The hat is fully out of control now. Home to you? No. Without misrepresent... I am so excited. Motion picture... The Academy, the honorary Academy Award for all-around greatness from the Motion Pictures of Arts and from the Academy of Motion Picture Greatness, from the motion picture of I am a real American. Good coffee. Good. What is wrong with... Is my arm? Jesus. Good coffee, always free. Again, used to be able to do the finger. Why can I not figure that out, dude? Good coffee is always free. Good coffee, always free, almost pointing to it. Ah. Point to the chair. Okay. This is going nowhere, brother.
What are you talking about? What people care about is what's coming up right now. The main event.
Friends, there is a hierarchy in the Riddell estate. And atop that hierarchy is the upper echelon, topmost of the popmost, and her name is Lynn Riddell, aka Queen Mother of Canada. She brings... The nose is itchy because it's the mustache. It's not the nose hairs. The nose hairs have been clipped, but the mustache and the beard need to be trimmed. Getting back to the... Lynn Riddell, aka Queen Mother of Canada, is bringing the learning experience home to you, the viewers, the legends, the friends, in a comprehensive lesson weekly on Scottish phrases. And you are putting them into your everyday vernacular. Grandma's saying it now. The dinner table, at church, in the car, going to get her necessities at the local food barn. Say hi to Cheryl. Guys, it's time for Queen Mother of Canada presents Conversational Scottish.
Watch out, laddie, your breeks are fine doen. Watch out, laddie, your breeks are fine doen.
Friends, if the learning is to continue and grow and get bigger, larger, broader, Lester and myself need to open our eyes larger and bring the public service announcement to those that not only speak English, but other languages. Folks, do you hear me knocking? Do you hear me checking the key? Do you hear the door opening and Lester and me hand in hand walking through the doorway? Because we are. It is my honor and Lester's privilege to present to you the continued partnership of public service announcements with Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk. This time, we're dipping our toes into the foreign language public service announcement. I thank you for your time. Please enjoy.
You ever had India food?
Will you please stop?
Catch it.
The Empire of Taste. Will you please stop?
Catch it.
Prenons la route fleurie qui conduit vers le bonheur. Suivons-la toute la fille, main dans la main, cœur contre cœur. Avec vous, petite amie, le chemin sera trop court, car c'est vous que j'ai choisi.
Combien de temps allons-nous supporter ça? Si chacun fait un peu, c'est la vie qui gagne.
Friends, no slouching. The collar has to be tight. I do not give a rat's keister what the hat looks like because we are closing up shop. It's time to say goodbye. This mustache. It's time to say goodbye to you, the friends. Lester and myself both bid you adieu. Failed French every year. Already covered that. Pushing forward. It's the goodbyes, and it's just for this week. But next week, we'll be back, stronger than ever, because I am none too pleased with this episode. I do like the part where we got the episode title as I told Mick Foley that Pete Rose died. That's the episode title. I do enjoy that. That was funny. I do like the John Riddell clip of the week. That was funny. But the rest of it, I'm not too... It's got to be... Usually it's, but perhaps in the edit, sometimes in the edit, Lester has ideas where he splices in audio and video and all that stuff. But thank you. Most importantly, if you're here watching these fingers do this, you've watched the whole episode, and I always thank you. Always. Because I know these things are not short and sweet, because they don't have to be. And everyone around me, everyone, Colin, it's too long. But let me tell you something. You know what you have to be in this world? Different. It's as simple as that. The people that stand out because they're different. Don't ever forget that. Okay? Be different. You don't think I could do a 15-minute show each day. I could do a segment a day. Or I could do all of it at the end of the week and give you a lovely 1 to 1.5 hour program. Okay? If you had time to watch half-hour sitcoms growing up that were, watching back now, a bit subpar, okay? Some of them I don't think I could watch. You could watch an hour and a half of this greatness. However, if this isn't great, then am I as interesting as repeats of Full House? I think I'm better than Full House. Okay, so there is the full episode title. Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 34. I told Mick Foley Pete Rose died. I think I'm as interesting as repeats of Full House. Rolls right off the tongue, as it should. Lester, it's not too long. Will it fit in the title? It won't. I'm gonna have to kibosh the Colin from Canada presents. I'm gonna have to go right into the Good Junk. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Let's get to some stuff before we fully say goodbye. Dash cam will be installed, and I will be driving around Mississauga with it this week, so we will have full 1080p footage out my windshield of the morons driving in Mississauga. We will also start taking pictures of the pharmacist who doesn't know how to park behind the McDonald's pharmacy mall. You know what I'm saying? We talked about it earlier. Is there anything else left to say? Lester, I was teasing. Again, I know what's coming up. The pepperettes are a firm $12. There is no haggling. The pepperettes seinen steifig $12 ein Aufdinger.
A recognized symbol of excellence in
dramatic comedy.
Who's the liar now?